Yeah, I want to know about like the Christ and like the about like the disagreement between Christians and Muslims.
Are you a Muslim?
Yes,
Okay. Do you believe in Jesus Christ?
of course we do believe in Jesus Christ.
Okay. And do you believe in the Jesus Christ of the Bible?
In the Bible, yeah.
So you believe that Jesus Christ is God?
No.
Then you don't believe in Jesus Christ.
Well, we believe in him as a prophet.
Yeah, no. So
And
you believe in a counterfeit of Jesus, not the real Jesus.
how could you like distinguish? Do you have like yeah?
Because your understanding of who Jesus is, your definition of who Jesus is, comes from the Bible. It doesn't come from the Quran.
How would you tell?
So, for example, if we were to ask you a few questions about who Jesus is, would you be able to give us the answer from the Quran?
Yeah, he said it like clearly, right? He said, "Waisa ibn Maryam."
No, I mean I hear that. Do you believe that Jesus Christ is spoke Aramaic?
Uh, it's arguably like could be Aramaic or Hebrew back then.
Where'd you get that from?
I mean, there's many books, right? That like Celsius,
Where did they get that from?
they got it from the history, right? Because it's about like
Yeah,
continue.
where did they get that from?
So in this situation, I would go like to a third party as a primary sources, right? To find because
You go to a third party as a primary source. That doesn't make no sense. Why don't you go to the primary source that tells you where all these third parties are getting from? All these third parties are getting from the primary source, and you know where the primary source is. Why not going to the primary source itself?
yeah, because we're neglecting the Greek, the script, right?
Regardless of whether you reject the Greek or whatever, you're still using the primary source as the base of your argument and telling us who Jesus is. So you're using the primary source, you're using the third person that quotes from the primary source to tell you who Jesus is, but you're rejecting the primary source. So why not rejecting the third party that are using the primary source to tell you who Jesus is?
That's a beautiful conclusion because the Christianity faith is using a third party, which is the unknown writing.
I mean, so is the Quran. So is the Quran. The Quran is also using the primary source to tell you who Jesus is. But yeah, you are rejecting the Quran and the primary source and the third parties.
The difference is in the Quran, there's the preserved, script.
We're not talking about the preservation. You think that's a preservation, but it's not. But again, let's go back. If I'm asking you something about Jesus, and you're saying I'm using a third party to tell me who Jesus is, and the third party is using the primary source that tells us who Jesus is, that means you are also affirming the primary source to be true, which is the Bible.
No, in Islam, the third party is the prophecy, right? It's Muhammad. But
Muhammad does not tell you who Jesus is.
Muhammad's not even a third party. He comes way in the 7th century. It's not even a third party.
Exactly. What would have been the prophecies anyways? Because the Quran doesn't give any.
Well,
It just says that Jesus is called the Messiah. So what? Like, for instance, if you were trying
He's
to,
not asking that. I mean, we're trying to
but there's the
see if he's going to admit what he's relying on the life of Jesus.
yeah. Of course, I'm
let
relying
me
on
mute up
Quran.
before I get cooked. I'm gonna mute up. I don't want to get cooked.
So because I rely on the Quran because I was born a Muslim, and from what I knew that there's a sequence of prophecies, right? Which is like Adam, Abraham, Noah.
Yeah, but if none of that tells you what language Jesus spoke or where he was from.
What language was Moses speaking?
We're talking about Jesus.
Yeah, so because he went to Israel, so he has to speak Hebrew.
How do you know he went to Israel?
What?
How do you know he went to Israel?
because all the Abrahamic religions they just like dropped on Israel, like,
But Israel, how do you know he went to Israel? Where Israel like is a place. The Quran never says he went to Israel. It says he went to the people of Israel.
he said Bani Israel, correct?
Yeah, yeah. The people of Israel and the place Israel are two different things.
Well, I mean, now, like, because we're using like a modern perception, so we can say Israel, that refers right away to Bani Israel, right? I'm here.
So it says that he was sent to the children of Israel, but it doesn't say where.
I think there's like more importance in all books, right? That God don't speak about.
Well, we're just asking you, how do you know anything about Jesus? How do you know that he would have been speaking Aramaic and Hebrew? How do you know that?
Well, if you're asking me the question specifically, of course, I know that from people and from probably like school or from a priest or a sheikh. You know what I mean?
Where do they get it from is the question. I think you know what we're asking.
Yeah, I know, of course, but yeah, I think they got it from historians. Like let's say, for example, let's take
where do the historians get it from that Jesus would have been speaking Aramaic and Hebrew?
Yeah, from secondary sources, right?
What source are they using as their primary source that Jesus spoke Aramaic and Hebrew?
Why is it important as Muslims to know if Jesus spoke Arabic?
Can you mute up until your turn is up? Thank you.
Actually, don't waste your time. Muslims don't
kick this dude. He's just here to troll us.
God logic. Do not debate with this guy.
This is a clown. He's a clown, a coward who's tries like seriously, man. You guys are the funniest people. You come up not to refute, but to run away and try to bring all the other people to run away with you. It doesn't work. It's not going to work.
Have to run away.
I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you, Nader. I'm talking about the guy who was just up. So anyway, what are the sources that the historians use to conclude that Jesus spoke Aramaic and Hebrew?
So, like I said, it could be like from the books before the Quran, which is maybe the Bible, or a secondary sources, right? Such as
secondary. There is no secondary source.
Okay.
So it's the Bible. It's the Bible that they get it from. Honestly, it shouldn't have taken us this long to get to this point, but because you guys are afraid of admitting this, when you guys know this to be the fact, it takes us this long to get here. But they get it from the Bible.
Yeah. So if they get it from the Bible, what is the problem? That's not a greater thing to know about, right?
Well, it is, because what it's showing is that even you yourself, Nader, even you yourself, you are appealing to the Bible as a historical authority on the life of Jesus, on the language he spoke, on where he was from, where he preached, where he was. You're relying on the Bible for that. So you're saying that the Bible is reliable without knowing it.
Can I say something, please? Do you know that the Arabic scholars they rescued the modern Hebrew, right? So do you
Stick to the topic, my brother. Stick to the topic.
We're
talking about Jesus Christ. We're talking about Jesus Christ.
Okay, so what is the Trinity? Would you tell me what is the Trinity?
Brother, stick to the topic. What the heck? Stop trying to jump around.
Well, if you can answer my question.
Have you forgotten the argument, or you just want to run around right now?
I don't run. Why should I run?
Okay, if you're not running around, then why are you talking about something we're not talking about?
The Quran said it explicitly, right? He said that Jesus is not a God. He said, قَدْ كَفَرَ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا أَنَّ الْمَسِيحَ هُوَ اللَّهُ. So he said it loud.
But what does that have to do? What does that have to do with you being able to authenticate the historical questions that they're asking you?
The Islamic God command us just to follow, like the principle commandments, not like.
Okay, bro, no problem. Qul Allahu ahad. Mashallah, mashallah, takbir. What does that have to do with the question that he's asking you, bro?
He's asking me what language was Jesus speaking. So I said it's either Aramaic or Hebrew.
Okay, where are you getting that information from?
Okay, I got it from your Bible.
Beautiful.
Oh, so you do need the Bible. Oh, okay.
As your God needs a human to be,
Mufta, have you forgotten the point that we're trying to make, that if you don't believe in Jesus when you're claiming that you believe in the Quran as your source to tell you who Jesus is, when everything that you use is from the Bible to tell you who Jesus is? So telling us that you believe in Jesus, but then the claims of the Bible says that Jesus Christ is God, but you're telling us that, well, I don't believe in what the Bible is saying, but I'm going to use the Bible to tell you about Jesus. That makes no sense. So you can't be out here trying to, hold on. It's like me, for example, trying to ask your friends or trying to ask your mother and father about who you are, and then they tell me who you are, and I said, no, I'm not going to believe in your mom and dad, but I'm going to believe in some man down the road to tell me about you. That's exactly what you're telling us. So when a Muslim comes and tells us about Jesus Christ, they're giving us a counterfeit, a fake. They're giving us, not the real one. It's like if I go to a shop to try to buy a Nike, and then they give me Adidas. That's what Muslims gives us. So we're asking you to tell us about who Jesus is, and we're asking just simple criteria. What language did he speak? Where did he live? Where did he walk? All these things. And you can't do it without using the Bible. So which means if you're going to use the Bible, then you're appealing to the Bible to be an authority to telling us who Jesus is. So that means you're appealing to the true Jesus Christ, not the counterfeit that you're using in the Quran.
Well, so first of all, let me just clarify one point, that we love Jesus as a prophet, and he's very audacious, right? The second point is, I said about Jesus that it's not like it's not such a thing to know about like what kind of language Jesus used to speak, because we don't know. Do you know Adam's language? Do you know what was the language?
That's besides the point. You can't tell me that you love a counterfeit. If I give you a counterfeit right now, you're going to reject the counterfeit. So I don't understand why you're accepting a counterfeit from the Islamic point of view. Telling me that you love Jesus is like me telling you that, it makes no sense to me. It's like, it's irrelevant. I don't care about that. But you loving something. Hold on. You loving a counterfeit has no bearing on me. But I'm telling you that, how is it that you're telling me that you love Jesus, but the person that you're telling us that you love, it's not the real one? It makes no sense.
Okay, then convince me that Jesus is God. I would love to know from you, actually, and especially I need to know the Trinity.
Well, the same Bible that you're using to appeal to you, that helps you to tell you about Jesus, tells you that he's God. So since that same Bible that you're using to tell you about who Jesus is and the language that he spoke, why don't you use that same Bible that tells you that he's God?
Because something in it was like...
No, because you want to cherry pick.
Not a cherry pick, actually.
Yes, you are.
So Christian claims that Jews didn't know, they've been not aware about Trinity, and they're running the financial word, and now you're claiming...
My God, why'd you like running? Why don't you like to stay to one topic? Why are you talking about the Jews for? Leave the Jews alone. The Jews ain't done nothing to you.
I said we love Jesus as a prophet. If you have problem with it, I'm sorry about it, but this is my faith. Now I'm telling you, prove me that Jesus is God. That's fine. So since you don't want to answer, I guess we're going to move forward then. So if you love Jesus as a prophet, does the Bible, are you appealing to what the Bible says that Jesus being a prophet? Well, as I believe, Jesus.
Yes or no?
As I believe, Jesus bowed to God in the Bible. Jesus used to, have been called.
That's not the question that I asked you. You said that you believe that Jesus Christ is a prophet. Is that according to the Bible or according to the Quran?
Of course, according to the Quran. With all due respect to the Bible.
Okay, cool. So again, we're not talking about a counterfeit. This is where you're not listening. I'm not talking about a counterfeit. I don't care about the fake Jesus or the fake Isa. I'm talking about the true Jesus. The one that the one that you're quoting from using the Bible, the one I told you about who Jesus is.
Okay, can I answer that?
Go ahead.
In the Quran,
directly.
In the Quran, there's many things that the Quran didn't talk about. Like Adam's wife, can you pull it from the Quran? You won't pull it, right? Because it's not mentioned. So the Quran is not here to tell you, he used to speak Aramaic. He was like 5'6", or no. This is not the message, right? The message is greater.
You're missing the point.
Educate me. That's educate me. Go ahead.
Nader, what was Kwame's point? Repeat the point that he made.
He wants to know if the Quran is mentioning the language of Jesus. Correct me if I'm mistaken, please.
What's the point of that? What was the point of him bringing you and showing you that you're using the Bible to know that Jesus spoke Aramaic? What was the point of that?
Yeah, to discredit the Quran and to make to put more reliability on the Bible.
So let's just say it straight away, okay? So maybe you'll get it if we say it just straight away. I think that the whole said it straight away. Maybe I'm gonna say it a little different.
But brothers, I'm not a scholar. I'm just
it's not about being a scholar, my friend. It's just about having listening skills and comprehending what is being said to you and the points that's being made. You don't need to be a scholar to be able to understand things in a conversation.
Yeah, I do agree.
So all I'm saying is, this is what I'm gonna tell you, so that maybe you'll get it. You'll get it. If you don't get it after this, I don't know what to do with you, man. The point that he's making is that you appealed to the Bible to tell you that Jesus spoke Aramaic. So you're using the Bible as a source on information about Jesus. That same source that you're relying on for information about Jesus tells you that he's God. So he's asking you, since you're relying on the Bible for information on Jesus, then you also have to acknowledge that he's God, since the same source that you're relying on says that. You get the point?
Yeah, I get the point. So there's no problem that I prove the language of Jesus from the Bible, because they're all Abrahamic, right? As you do, prove the Bible from the Quran. So you use this, right?
No, I just use it as your authority. That's why. The Quran is not true, and it's not Abrahamic. It's not even a distant step cousin of the Abrahamic religion.
How would you say that?
Because it rejects everything Jesus taught.
What Jesus taught?
That he's God.
Why he wants to claim he's God?
Because he is. Why would Allah claim that he's God in the Quran?
You're doing a circling answer, but why Jesus is claiming he's God?
Why would Allah claim that he's God?
You can't answer with a question, right? That's a weakness.
I think we can answer with a disconnect. Like if we click your profile and just press disconnect, I think that's the best answer.
I didn't get it.
I know.
Why Jesus is claiming